Happy Wednesday, everybody. My name is Dean.
And my name is Tyler.
And we got, I was going to say some, uneventful, what's another word? We're talking about Ivern.
It's strange. It's very strange. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, they're calling it a midscope. It's not, I guess the closest thing is they're kind of touching all his abilities, so it's a little bit more than usual, but it's not a midscope. He's literally more or less the same, just a little different interactions. So we're going to go through them because it'll be a lot easier when the patch comes and we don't have to fucking waste all our time reading a wall of fucking text.
Right. It's really just a patch. There's no other way to put it, I don't think, but
it's there's enough there for us to talk about it, but it's interesting. It's not the most interesting thing, but we might as well cover it because maybe we'll see some Iverns in the game. I don't know.
Maybe. We did see one in a game we played kind of recently together.
What, on ARAM?
No, I think it was in a regular match. Or maybe
I don't remember that. That was one of the things I was gonna say. I can't remember the last time I seen an Ivern. Maybe I forgot.
I will look through my match history, but you keep talking.
Yeah, so let's as always, before we talk about the main topic, we want to shout out the YouTube guys. Come on over here. I'm gonna be putting up a new gameplay. One of them was, I think it was one of our 5-mans, a recent 5-man, so it's pretty fun. But yeah, guys, come over here, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. Check out the shorts. We're putting up shorts daily. Check out the full gameplays. Check out old episodes too. If you guys like looking at our faces for some reason, you can scroll through here. We got 154. This will be episode 155. We are cooking, baby. Almost 2 years. Crazy.
Right.
So yeah, make sure come over here, sub to the YouTube. It does help us out a lot, so I appreciate that. Did you happen to find...
It must have been an ARAM, I guess, because there was that one with that Ivern, but I thought there was another one somewhat recently, but I'm not seeing it, so I must be wrong.
Yeah, Champion just kind of sucks.
It kind of died on the vine with the smite changes.
Literally.
Yeah, because remember there was the... you just smite kill Daisy, and that was really easy, and it kind of wiped him out as a champion, which sucks. But it is what it is.
I will note, originally Ivern's, we're gonna, every time I say midscope, I'm gonna, quotations, fingers. It was supposed to come out next patch. It is, I'm just reading, it is getting delayed to 5.11.
That's
13.11. Excuse me. So 2 patches. They it was on Spider Axes, but an Ivern one trick was giving his this guy's name is crazy. It's Jamaican Banana was an Ivern one trick, and apparently his feedback prompted them to push it back even further. And then also one thing we didn't touch on, I think you and I talked about it behind the scenes, but they're changing. They're one of the things is they're taking away Ivern's buff sharing, but apparently everyone on the map is going to be able to share buffs. I don't know much more info about it or how it's going to work. I saw a few people on the subreddit talking about in their one of their videos in the beginning of the year when they were talking about champions, they had a 2-second part where they talked about Ivern's buff sharing going away, but it's going to be reworked to something where everyone can benefit. So get ready for top laners to come to lane with red buff, just randomly, or your bot lanes with red buff. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm interested in that, but that is getting pushed back as well. Okay, it was Froxon, your boy. In order to meet Ivern player expectations, we're also delaying Ivern and buff sharing to 13.11 in order to land a better set of changes. So there is a chance what we're about to go over change. I don't expect it to, because there wasn't that much changed in the first place.
No, dude, it was the weirdest thing when I was reading this. I'm I don't think I'm reading anything new. I had a hard time figuring out what the actual change was.
Very small detail changes, but
very strange.
Let's do it. Let's get over it. So I also have his current what his abilities are now with numbers. Again, these probably are going to change, but just to compare to what live is, what they're working towards. So, let's start it. Why don't you start off with his passive now?
All right, his current is. Oops. All right, just do. Here we go. Okay. Current passive, Friend of the Forest. It's a long one. Buckle up. Innate. Ivern cannot attack nor damage non-epic monsters. Instead, targeting a jungle camp initiates a 2.5-second channel that will plant a grove upon the camp. Placing a grove costs 98.25 to 0.14 based on level health, and 90 to 0.37 based on level mana. These scale levels 1 through 18. It's really weird because it looks like the health, I didn't even realize this. It starts at 98, it peaks at level 6, it costs 110.78 health, and then it starts going back down, so it's this little bell curve. And it looks very similar to the mana, peaks at level 6.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Neither did
I. It moved up.
I didn't know it went. I mean, I knew it went down later, but I thought that was like a factor of just having more health. I didn't realize that it actually just scaled down in health. So they did try to, I guess, nerf his early jungle by making it harder to plant groves. Excuse me. The channel cannot be canceled in the first 0.15 seconds and in the last half second. Ivern cannot place a grove while he is unable to cast abilities. The grove matures over 40 to 1 seconds based on level. Again, you're looking, it starts at 40 and it's just like a linear regression down to 1 at level 15. So it maxes at level 15. When fully matured, Ivern can target the camp again to free it after a half-second cast time, clearing the camp and receiving the full gold and full XP bounties. Using Smite on a monster within the grove will instantly free the camp regardless of maturity. If the camp's large monster has already been slain prior to planting a grove, Ivern will free the camp upon completing the channel at no cost. Similarly, the grove will instantly mature if the large monster is slain. Starting at level 5, freeing the red brambleback excuse me, or the blue sentinel leaves behind a sapling for 60 seconds that can be gathered by one allied champion to gain the camp's respective buff. Either the Crest of Cinders or the Crest of Insight. That's red and blue, respectively. If an ally kills either monster, they also leave behind a sapling that only Ivern can consume.
Okay. So, again, they're getting rid of this last paragraph. He does not have the sharing mechanic anymore. So now let's compare it to his PBE passive here, which is a lot shorter.
Yeah, I mean, it's holy shit.
Even without the red buff or blue buff sharing, it's a lot smaller.
Right.
So let's check it out and compare.
Okay. Current from Spider Axe says Ivern will not hurt non-epic jungle monsters. Instead, Ivern can right-click a jungle monster to grow a grove that costs 131 health and 113 mana. These both will scale down to 0 based on level. Or, yeah, it looks like based on level. Groves grow over 50 to 1 second based on level. Once fully grown, Ivern can harvest them, freeing the camp and earning gold and experience. Ivern can also smite the groves to instantly grow and free the camp, earning gold and XP. So that part seems probably pretty similar to the old part.
So what I also want to know is this number, this 131 and 113, obviously it's a little bit more than what's on live.
Sure.
Is it going to peak up like it does here? Or is it just going to steadily go down?
I don't know. That's a good question because it scales weirdly.
I would hope it goes down just because it starts a little bit higher. It's higher than
peak.
any. Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's what I was going to say. So I'm hoping it just goes straight down.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I don't see it going up.
And then the groves is a little bit higher at level 1. That's going to be weird. I mean, I guess they've changed so many jungle camp timers. They probably haven't even touched Ivern.
Probably not.
Because like Scuttle and like Krugs and stuff have all had their timers changed over the years. So it's a flat 50 seconds where it was 40. Now I'm also curious if that's going to be capped at level 15 for that 1 second. So that's
maybe.
something interesting to know. This is weird because always felt like Ivern's like early game is kind of shitty anyways.
Right.
Um,
As it should be. I mean, given the fact they can just clear a camp almost instantly, his early game should be kind of shitty, right?
You know what would have been sick if we had Christian on here because he was the Ivern god.
Young Vern boy. Basically a Vern Troyer.
So, all right. I mean, yeah, he can. Well, I guess there is 2 smite charges now, so I wonder how that. I can't. When did they add the 2 smite charges? Like 2 years ago?
They've been around for a while. 2 or 3 seasons.
Huh. Again, I don't play this
but
champion.
They actually no, it might have been around for longer than that. They when they added the 2 smite charges, it's when you still was based on your level, right? And that was the big thing about Ivern is they added them. But then he did flat like 600 and I think 900 and then 1300 if I remember correctly.
12 I think it was 1200
or maybe it was 1200. But
no,
I think
pretty much.
Oh god, I don't remember how it scaled. But I think at level 6 it was actually a handicap to have Daisy out because the other jungler could just smite your Daisy and kill it.
Right.
And it was like, or do like 70% damage to Daisy, and then Ivern has no way to do any damage back, especially if you're going to like a Xin Zhao or a duelist like a Lee Sin or something like that. So it was like a massive oversight. It was a massive oversight, I think. But yeah, disadvantage, exactly.
Like Ivern is, I mean, I guess he's a little slippery, right? Because with his Q and stuff, he can get over walls. He has a shield. You know, he might. Obviously, he's not gonna 1v1 someone. He's gonna lose if he tries to fight. But like, I'd say if you had an Ivern on the enemy team, you should probably be invading that dude all the time because he's gonna be low on HP. But now it's gonna be even more. So, very
100%.
curious how they're gonna, if they're gonna keep this or make his like.
I feel like they can make it better. I don't know exactly what, but they can make it better.
Would it make sense to like? I'm assuming. Hold on. Does it? I wonder. I'm assuming. I wonder if it'd be better if they like reverse the cost, like make it less early but more later because he scaled like a percentage of his health.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Maybe
give him a little more agency early, like so he's not like obviously he's not combating the jungle creeps, so he's not taking damage. That's why he has to spend health. But I feel like it'd be like a flat 10% or like does their stupid ass 19.134% of your max health or something like
right.
Maybe that might be a little more sense. Because I mean late game combined with how fast the groves like. 1 second, if it's still at level 15, it's like instant. You're just clearing everything instantly. So I'd be curious if they like reversed the costs. Interesting.
Would be very interesting. I would I'd be here for it.
All right, let's move on to his Q. Oh, one thing also to notice, SpiderX tweeted out, there's on the tooltip that's not listed. His attack range is getting increased from 475 to 525.
Oh, jeez.
So another 50. That's pretty good. I just remember when he was released, he was literally a melee champion, and he would only get ranged in brushes.
Oh,
that was
that's right.
Stupid.
Yeah.
So then they just fully made him a ranged champion.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, that was no bueno. But I feel like Ivern on release was like stupidly broken.
He was actually because part of it is because of the way that he plays, right? Like Ivern don't give a fuck.
Back then, they had the jungling items, and they had, like, the talisman and the hunter's machete. He never had to fully buy that item.
No.
Because there was no benefit to it.
He's not attacking. Right.
So he would just sit on that talisman for the mana regen or whatever. But
that was the biggest problem of it, too, was like, here's a champion who doesn't even have to actually engage in what the rest of the junglers have to engage in order to be successful. So...
All right, let's move on to his Q. Root Caller. So looking at what's on live. Ivern throws a vine in the target direction, dealing magic damage to the first enemy hit and rooting them for the duration, during which they are also revealed. Root Caller can be recast while the target is rooted. Ivern and allied champions can select the target rooted by Root Caller to dash to their location with allies stopping at their attack range and Ivern stopping within 125 units from the target. Recast. Ivern dashes to the target. I also remember on release, this was a fucking issue because like you would just bait your fucking allies and they would get sucked in.
Dude,
Or, like,
that's still kind of happens, to be honest. Like, it is like, oh, do I want to use this ability right now, or am I just going to fuck myself or somebody else to accidentally go in, you know? And you always
like,
see the little fucking dotted line. You're like, no, don't do it.
it's like the Lee Sin Q. Like you gotta fucking touch it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or like the lantern.
Right. It's like, God damn it. It
no, it's
calls
kind of
out to you, too. You're like...
Right, no, it does. It's super troll because it's like, maybe you're catching someone out, but like as an ADC, do you really want to get into melee range of a fucking like Darius or something?
Right.
No.
It's better for your fighter champion to take that, or your tank champion to take that, you know.
So we'll see. Magic damage is 80 to 260 with a 70% AP ratio, and then the root duration is 1.2 to 2. And then the PBE, Ivern root collar. So let's see. Ivern conjures a vine dealing 80 plus 70% AP magic damage and rooting their first enemy for 1.2 seconds. Allies that attack a rooted enemy dash into attack range. So attacked. Is that the same thing as right clicking?
I think so.
First enemy hit and revealing with the... Okay, so it is attack. Okay, so it is the same. It's just worded differently.
Yeah.
It's what's fucking weird. Okay, so it's the same thing. But looking at the root duration, 1.2 to 2. Damage is 80 to 260, so it's the same. And then the cooldown, this is literally the same.
Yeah, they just reworded it, I guess. It mentions... does it mention that they're still revealed? No.
Okay, so he's not revealed. That's kind of troll.
Yeah, the reveal was like a kind of a important piece of that, right?
We should decide if it's like, is this is a nerf or a buff? This is definitely a nerf. It's yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think it is a nerf because you don't get that, but he can still jump in. Oh, see, okay. What I didn't realize is it did say on here, allies stopping at their attack range. So a ranged champion would stop, I guess, at their attack range. But I don't know even know if you want to be that close. Like you want to just be barely in that range. But I think maybe I'd rather be in control of that than let the ability.
How would they fix that though?
I don't know. Because
it's like you want to auto attack the rooted target, but then you're gonna like get sucked in.
It doesn't. It's weird. It doesn't tell you if it's gonna stop them at their attack range on the new ability. So, or no, this is allies that attack a rooted enemy dash into attack range. So, okay, no. So I think it's still the same. So you shouldn't be right on top of them. You should be just on the outskirt or right at your range. So that's not as bad. But the loss of sight's pretty bad because that's like, oh, let me drop a bush and then throw a Q into it, and not being able to see them is interesting. So I wonder if that's intentional.
Who knows with Riot these days?
Right.
All right, let's go to Brushmaker.
Brushmaker! So current, in-game right now, passive, while Ivern is in Brush, his basic attacks are empowered to deal bonus magic damage on hit. This bonus persists for 3 seconds after leaving Brush. Active. Ivern grows a patch of brush at the target location for 30 seconds, granting sight of the area within and around it for 3 seconds. Spawning brush near terrain or other brush increases its radius. I did not know that. Ivern periodically stocks a Brushmaker charge up to the maximum of 3. And what's not mentioned in here is when he plants it... Or no, it did mention he grants sight of the area. It is a disgusting, super easy ability to check if someone's in a bush by planting a bush in a bush.
Yeah, 1,000 range, too.
Yeah, you have a long way to cast that, so you're safely out of attack range and a lot of ability ranges, too. The new Brushmaker, still called Brushmaker, right? I get the root collar Brushmaker. I get this shit confused. It does say passive while in brush for 3 seconds. After leaving it, Ivern's attacks deal an additional 30 plus 30% AP ratio magic damage.
Okay.
Nearby allies will gain this effect for 1.5 seconds and deal. And that's cut off on mine. Is it 5 plus 10% AP magic damage of the damage?
Okay.
So
So I got.
is that 5%? Because it says of the damage. So it's 5 plus 10% AP magic damage of the damage. Like, I feel like that's a percent.
It doesn't.
The way that's worded, it doesn't say percent, but the way it's
No,
worded.
right. It's a little sus.
Right. Active, Ivern grows a patch of brush, reveals it for 5 seconds. Brush persists until Ivern's team loses vision within it, or up to 60. I'm assuming that's seconds.
Oh,
So
okay. So this is a decent change.
The ammo recharge is also going to be 20 seconds. Costs 30 mana, where currently it's got a recharge of 40, scaling down to 24. So that's a little bit different as well.
God damn.
This is probably the biggest change I noticed on all of the abilities, I think.
Damn, so 20 seconds off the recharge right away. That's
Right.
nuts.
Right.
It does not say it grants vision, though.
No,
It does not grant sight.
Well, it says it grows a patch of brush and reveals it. I'm assuming
okay.
revealing is granting. See, the way that they worded it is different, and I understand that it's streamlined, but it's kind of confused or confusing.
I do like the magic damage for your allies. That's nice, a little extra.
Right.
I do like the fact that it'll be basically, if you're standing in it, it'll stay forever, or 60 seconds.
I'm
So
assuming
that's
that's 60 seconds. Yeah, they need to fix up the language in here because it's really bad. But
so yeah, it says loses vision within it. So, or unless if they put a ward in it, does it stay?
yeah, I think if you put a ward in it, it will.
So if you're standing in it or have a ward in it, okay.
A neat trick with Brushmaker that I don't know if you're aware of. If an enemy places a control ward and disables your ward, you can place a brush on top of your ward to re-enable it, because the pink wards need a direct line of sight in order to disable wards.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's still going to work like that. So yeah, as long as you have vision inside of it, I guess it stays. But it's interesting that, like, if you lose vision, so after those first 5 seconds, if you don't keep vision of it, it just goes away, which is kind of nice because, especially on ARAM, it's really
60
fucking
seconds. It's 60 seconds.
Well, so Ivern grows a patch and reveals it for 5. It persists until they lose vision within it, or up to 60 seconds. So if you lose vision within it, it only gives you vision in it for 5 seconds. Once you lose vision in it, it's gonna disappear.
Okay.
Is my understanding of how that. Look, and that could be bad English.
Okay, because I thought you were thinking like the brush just disappears after 5 seconds if you're not looking in it. Okay.
Yeah. If you don't have any vision in it, I think you just lose it.
Okay, so you do think that? No, I think like, so when you throw a bush up, it like grants sight of the area, right?
Right.
Or whatever. I'm thinking if you don't have vision in the bush after 5 seconds, the vision goes down, but the brush still is there for 60 seconds.
Oh, see, what it says, the brush persists until the Ivern's team loses vision within it, which is why I'm thinking. Or up to 60. So if you have a ward in there, it'll stay up to 60, is my understanding. Or if you're standing in it.
I think if you're standing in it or has a ward, I think it stays forever until you leave it. That's what I'm thinking. Or that's again, it's pretty poorly written.
It is very poorly written, and it's not.
But that's how
Englished out.
You know what? I wonder if I can go on.
Is it
Let me
on
load
PBE?
it. See if I can. Yeah, I wonder if I can load up on PBE. Unless they took it down already.
Right. It could be.
Go ahead. Move on to his E. I'm gonna load this up and see if I can check this out.
Okay. E. One of my favorite skill names, Trigger Seed. Got a great skill name. I'm still working on that series, by the way. Okay, current Trigger Seed. Active, Ivern places a seed on target allied champion, Daisy, or himself, granting the target a shield for 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, the seed explodes to deal magic damage to nearby enemies and slow them for 2 seconds. The new proposed change to Trigger Seed says Ivern grants 70... Hold on. Fucking thing is in the way. The damn arrow's in the way. Ivern grants 70 plus 60% AP ratio shield to an allied champion. After 2 seconds, it bursts, dealing 60 plus 70% AP ratio magic damage and slowing enemies by 50% for 2 seconds. If Trigger Seed detonates and no enemy champions are hit, the ally will be shielded for 70 plus 60% AP ratio for 2 seconds. So it looks like there is some scaling on the shield. Looks like it's 70 to 190 on the shield amount, 60 to 140 on the damage. The slow scales from 50 to 70%. And it's got a cooldown of 12 to 8 seconds. Currently, you've got cooldown 11 to 7. Your shield strength was a lot higher. Actually, it's definitely a lot higher. Currently, it's 80 to 220 with a 75% AP ratio. And then deals damage 70 to 150 with an 80% AP ratio. So you're definitely...
Well, it gets doubled if you...
Right. I was going to say,
so
you're definitely losing out if you're in the middle, but you're going to lose damage either way. Well, no, 60 to 140, 70 to 150. Okay, your damage is going to be similar.
They... I got into a practice tool. It's not on here. It's current live Ivern.
Bastards.
Dumb.
And then the slow scale is the same. So all in all, very similar, except for that if it doesn't pop, it looks like you get another 2-second shield.
Yeah, I
don't
know. I said this to you the other day too. This doesn't make sense. I feel like the shield should like persist or like reload on the ally if you're in the middle of the battle. Like it doesn't make sense. It just goes away. You should be rewarded for being in the middle, getting shielded. Not like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's very weird. And I wonder if this skill is one of the reasons that Captain One Trick said, this is dumb.
My boy Jamaican Banana.
Yeah, Jamaican Banana. I couldn't think of his name. Great summoner name, by the way.
That's a pretty good one. Let's see. So what was the cooldown?
You're just losing a second. So it's going to be 1 second longer in the new iteration.
So I saw, it must have been on, maybe it was a TikTok video, but I saw someone on PBE, and this sucks because they took down the like midscope or whatever.
Right.
I saw someone, they summon Daisy, they go under turret with no minions around, and they just keep shielding Daisy, and since you're not slowing anybody, the shield persists, so Daisy is just sitting there tanking tower shots for years.
Wow.
It's because it just keeps refreshing, right? So
that sounds like it's not supposed to work like that.
Yeah, that's a little... I mean, so it's 12 seconds down to 8 seconds, and, Ivern's building a lot of support items, which all pretty much have, like... Or no, they're getting changed, huh? A lot of support...
a lot of support items are getting changed.
Haste.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, realistically, he could probably get that down to 4 seconds.
Probably.
Like, half. So then the shield persists for how long?
2 seconds?
So 2 seconds, and then another 2 seconds. So 4. So it's literally up the whole time.
Right.
It's for 4 seconds. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, that's a little problem.
It seems very weird.
I mean, at least they're not... At least they're recognizing that, oh shit, this is not ready yet. We can't ship this.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. It is nice that they are recognizing that, but it also just seems dumb. I don't know. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, we can move on to Daisy. So, current Daisy. Active, Ivern summons his sentinel friend Daisy to his side, who lands 350 units away from him in the target direction and remains on the field for up to 60 seconds as a controllable pet. Daisy can be recast at any time while Daisy is alive. Okay. Recast. Ivern commands Daisy to move to target location. If cast on Ivern, Daisy will follow him. The recast can be used while affected by affected by cast inhibiting crowd control. See pets for more detail. I think another thing it actually doesn't say here is if you hit an enemy with Root Collar, Daisy immediately goes...
Yes.
Like, targets that target.
Right.
And then currently... So, let's see. Does it give me... Damn, it doesn't give me any scaling here, does it?
Let me open that one up. Wait, you're looking on the on.
I'm still looking at
Law
PBE
Oh,
or
PBE.
yeah, Law Wiki. Excuse me, the current. Oh no, it's right here.
Oh, it's down on the pet. Yeah, so yeah, I think you guys put
Oh,
out for the
fucking
pets. Okay.
crazy. Okay, so health is 1300 to 3900 plus 50% AP. That's health. Attack damage 70 to 170 plus 30% AP. Attack speed is 0.7 plus 30, 50, 70% based on rank. Range, auto attack range 125. Armor and magic resist are both 20 to 100, both with a 5% AP ratio, and then the movement speed is 419. So let's see.
It doesn't mention attack damage on this little tooltip.
The current one?
Yeah. On the new one. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's see. Ivern summons his Sentinel friend Daisy to leap into the fray for 60 seconds, dealing 90 plus 20% AP magical damage, knocking up enemies hit for 3/4 second on arrival. So that is new.
Yes.
That one I kind of like.
That's a very good change.
There are times where I've seen like daisies just like get spawned and then, like you said,
just get melted instantly.
Yeah, get melted. Now there's a little bit of CC. You could throw her right into the middle of them, knocks everyone up. Great. Daisy can also be cast on targets rooted by Root Caller at any range. Over the next 60 seconds, Daisy can be recast to instructing Daisy to attack or move. I don't understand, like, Daisy exclamation point. Like,
that's just the skill name. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just so confusing because whatever.
I think they just goofed and didn't take it out.
Well, I mean, it's still the same. It's like the same thing on the Law Wiki. It's like Daisy commands Daisy. Like, I don't.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's kind of silly.
So let's see. Daisy slams. Daisy's third consecutive attack on the same champion or epic monster will launch a shockwave, dealing 90, which is 40 plus 100% AD plus 20% AP magic damage to all enemies hit, as well as stunning and knocking them up for 3/4 second. This effect can only occur once every 3 seconds and begins on cooldown. So let's look at. Says Daisy has 1300 plus 50% AP health. Same thing with the armor and magic resist, 20 plus 5% AP, and then there's the attack damage is 55 plus 10% of your AP.
Right.
And then let's see, base leap damage 90 to 130, base slam damage 40 to 80, cooldown 120 to 100. What was the cooldown? 140 to 120. So it's up. Okay, that's getting a buff.
A little more.
And then Daisy's base health is the same, 1300 to 3900. Same with the magic resist, and then same with the attack speed.
Okay.
So how are we feeling about that?
I just wish they would give us her damage on here. I'm assuming her AD is gonna be more or less similar because everything else is more or less similar, and like the big change is the on arrival pop up, which is great. I mean, it's like Daisy should be something that rivals Tibbers in a way, right?
Wait, what do you mean their attack? It says attack damage. That's what I read. 55 plus 10% AP.
Oh shit! Damage. There it is. I didn't see it. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, I missed it.
I'm
sorry.
I read that.
I fucking missed it on there. I was just thinking about the old one and I missed it.
Yeah, so that's a little bit weaker. We can
right, and it's not scaling as hard. Well, I guess it's scaling a little bit harder on AP. So they're trying to get you to build a little bit more AP.
It's not
10%. Oh no, it is a lot less. I'm sorry. I was thinking it was 50%. Maybe that's
okay. Yeah, the basis. I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense to lower that just because she actually does damage on spawn now,
right?
Which is fine.
But that is the part I want to focus in on. Is the damage on spawn is like the most important part, and that I think is what will help him. Like you mentioned, like just spawning him and watching him get deleted. But like Tibbers doesn't get deleted when he gets spawned, right? Like Tibbers does what Tibbers does, and like this should rival that in a way. And obviously, maybe it doesn't need to do as much damage, but it should be able to do more considering Annie builds a fuck ton of AP. Ivern is building support items, so he should have something that does damage in his kit, considering otherwise he has his E that does the most damage, and then the Q that roots, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, right? And then how often are you attacking from a bush with Ivern? Like, if you're auto-attacking with Ivern that often, you're probably fucking up.
Oh, can't wait to go Rageblade Ivern if I can get the on-hit every 2 attacks.
You're right. That would be disgusting. Rageblade, Lethal Tempo, Ivern, just spawn a bush.
You know, I was seeing, I think The few times I think LS used to play like Ivern support a lot, and he would run lethal tempo Ivern, just sit in a bush and just. Ivern has the goofiest auto attacks. He just kind of giggles and
it's funny,
and he throws like
yeah,
little like leaves.
It is
That's awesome. Yeah, but I think like the whole point of Daisy, I think like obviously Tibbers does a shit ton of damage,
right?
But I think like Daisy, I'd be curious. Let me actually look at what Tibbers like stats are like health wise, because I feel like Daisy is just meant to be stupidly annoying. Like you can't get around this thing that's just knocking you up.
Right.
That's just kind of disrupting you. Let's see. So Tibbers is 1,300 to 3,100 base plus 75% AP. So it's a little bit less. What is... So Daisy gains 50%, and then Tibbers 75. Okay, that makes sense. Magic resist... magic damage. He does physical... let's see. Armor and magic resist are a little bit less. Movement speed. Okay, so yeah, Daisy is just tankier. Makes sense.
Okay. I think I can deal with that though.
That's fine. Yeah, it's just fucking. I mean, it's got to make a. It's an ultimate, right? It's got to be something. Got to be crazy about it. It's a fucking meatball.
It better be fucking like how do I put it? But like, if it's an ultimate, it should be like a showstopper type ability. You know what I mean? Like it should be the ability that the champion is known for or whatever. And so it's always frustrating when like you like remember old ASOL Ultimates like kind of like it was lackluster, it was lacking in every aspect. Where now the Skies Descend is like no, that's a sick fucking ability.
I'm just worried like how he's gonna deal how Ivern's gonna deal in the current game with how the jungle is working, especially where the game is to rush to farm as much as you can to get your treats, and like it's gonna be very odd.
It will most certainly be odd as fuck. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that because I think you're 100% right. It's gonna be very odd, very strange, just based on how he works as a champion.
Yeah. But yeah, that is it, guys. That's pretty much it.
There's really nothing else to
unfortunately
go on about it. Yeah, I wish there was.
If they're like I said, they're pushing it back another patch, so we won't see him for like another month. So maybe in that time they completely scrap all this and they actually make it a midscope. I'm waiting on Rel. Rel needs help.
She needs help bad.
There was another champion they were looking at for a midscope. I can't remember what the fuck it was. Let's see. League of Legends up. Let me just see if they have a list.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Because Nico is out. Maybe it's just Rel and Ivern.
Might be. It might have been Nico that you were thinking of, and then since they got that all squared away.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So it says, but up next you can look forward to midscopes for Nico, Rel, and our favorite friend-shaped tree, Ivern. Okay, so one's done. Nico's, I played one jungle game of her, and it was pretty boring, to be honest.
It's lackluster as fuck.
It's like you just gotta, you have to do the minion thing. I've seen some fucking crazy-ass TikToks, too, where, like, the strat with Nico jungle is like, oh, you need to copy a lane minion level 1 because its attack speed is a lot higher than Nico's, and she takes on the attack speed of the lane minion, which I think has like 125 or 1.25 attack speed. So right. And then you take her W for the on hit, so you're attacking really. It's just some crazy shit that I'm seeing out there. I probably wouldn't take it into ranked just yet, but yeah, maybe that can be a whole nother. Maybe like next week or like. We have a champion review coming up. I think it might be a cool idea if we did like a ranked check-in just to see how we've been doing. And
yeah,
like,
that would be cool.
Go in because I've been playing a little bit more ranked. Struggling, but I'm playing a little bit more ranked.
I've been playing in ranked. I've been fucking playing like ADC and getting more success with that. So
that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Sometimes you got to just roll swap a little bit, and you'll figure it out. Sometimes it's not going to work.
Oh, one final thing I wanted to mention.
Yeah.
About because I mentioned Rageblade, and
Right.
we went over Vane's Silver Bolts. So they are
Oh
changing
yeah,
that.
I meant to mention this too. Thank you.
Yeah, they're taking the AP ratio off the Silver Bolts, and putting onto Tumble on our Q. I think that's way better. I like that. That's totally fine. That is not problematic at all.
No.
Though I could still see like full AP Vayne like tumbling with like Lich Bane like 900 AP just one shotting with a Q with an auto attack.
The thing about putting it on her Q that I think is better than putting on her W is how often you can spam the Q, right? You're really not able to spam it quite that often because you have to actually do the tumble for it to refresh or let it run out. So if you don't do the tumble, the ability doesn't start cooling down. Something that I don't know if a lot of people know. I remember when I first started playing this game and I had like gotten Vayne and someone was like, "Well, how come we didn't Q?" I'm like, "You have to hit an enemy. I'm fucking running away, not trying to fight anybody. Like you can only Q so many times if you don't attack an enemy to let the cooldown start." So I think there's inherently a bit of a nerf on that side, but I think it's okay because what are they getting? You said it's 50%?
I think it's 50% AP ratio.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, she's not building a whole lot of AP anyways, but yeah, no, I think it's better than putting it on the true damage ability, honestly.
Yeah, that would have been no
Fucking
bueno.
nuts. That'd have been Nashor's Tooth Vein for sure. Whereas now it's more like, well, you have Baron and you get some free AP from having Baron, or
Rageblade.
Right. So you get some free AP there. Maybe you have Infernal Drake. I could not think of fire.
Yeah.
which helps scale your AP, but you're probably not considering building Nashor's Tooth now.
Well, also, I mean, a lot of the attack speed items like Shiv and did Stormrazor is that Stormrazor pop do AP now?
Good question.
We can wrap this up in a second, but
Yeah.
like there's small incentives that like going AP might actually be okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. We won't know until it comes out. It's probably going to be a shit show next patch. So
Right.
that's
No, I
next
agree.
week. So get ready.
So, all right. Other than that, guys, unless you have anything else you want to talk about, I think we are. I think we're good.
Nope, just the usual. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, review, and rate wherever you're listening or watching right now. Make sure to hit the link tree in the bio. Come join the Discord, guys. You get updates whenever I'm trying to stream. I promise I'm trying to stream this weekend. Maybe we just get some more games in and some spectates and stuff. So make sure you come into the Discord to get any and all updates. But yeah, we'll be back on Friday for the champion review. I have no idea who we're doing, but we'll be back unless something crazy drops in the next 2 days,
which is possible, but
it's possible.
I would say probably unlikely.
Right. So yep, we will be back on Friday, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck in your games.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. Click right here to see the previous episode of the According to Low Elo podcast. Click right here to see the most recent gameplay video. Thanks again.